Welcome to Azure Infinitum Podcast. This is your host, Reika Fuji-shima, also known as Hikaru Kazushime, around the Azure Infinitum network and the interwebs. Joining me today is Cynic and Rufus. Welcome, guys.
Heyo.
Glad to have you guys on the podcast. Wanted to get to a point in content as well as plans with the community. There's been so much going on. We've had a lot of awesome stuff happening here, and we're back, and we got some new faces on the show. The new format, we're going to be doing a couple recordings a week, so that should, given everything work out, provide an ongoing podcast episodes that's going to kind of start becoming more frequent as well. In the past, we made this show so that way we could inform our community and kind of get more people in the know of what's going on around the Azure Infinitum network, as well as in the guilds and the communities that we support. And it's also a great way for you guys listening to get to know us as well. And also, it's very convenient. Maybe you are on your way to work or taking a jog. Maybe you're at the gym, or maybe you didn't make it to the Grand Assembly and you just wanted to know maybe what some current stuff is going on over here in this community. Well, it's a great way to listen to it, and we are looking into plans for Spotify as well in the future. One big thing that we announced recently was the Azure Grand Duel Tournament 27. Yeah. And we had a amazing tournament a couple months ago. That was won by our lieutenant, Vidario Centermore, Vidario Superstario, as we call him. We crowned him Infinitum champion after a very heated, long tournament that was quite something to behold. You two interested in coming to the tournament? You think you guys planning to win the title?
Vid is mid.
Sorry, no, what day was
But
it?
no.
You say Vid is mid.
Yeah, I'll put him in place. Don't worry about it. He can go practice falling down. I'll take care of him later.
I'm not sure if I might attend it. I mean, I do have plans, so. But I'll watch it. I'll watch the VOD, don't worry.
Well, the last tournament, like I said, it was pretty heated. It was a pretty good show. Those that showed up and entered, we had several brackets, tournament brackets, and then the finals, semifinals were most exciting with best of 5 rounds, and we also saw a couple up and coming names that have not seen at tournaments before. Specifically, Levy. I remember Levy did a phenomenal job. Making it all the way to the end and towards the final round there. We were not sure who would win. It was pretty close. The current date that we have for our tournament is May 25th. We also have Super Azure Slayer Sunday taking place every second and fourth Sunday of the month. This is also a great place for you to come and learn a little bit more about PvP, talk to some people that are very passionate about it, and maybe practice a bit before going into the tournament. The tournament has a pot of at least 5 million to start with. There probably will be more. People tend to add to it. Tournament victor will take the pot, and the champion, which will be determined by the champion match at the end. Whoever wins the tournament will be facing Vidario for the championship, and they may take a slot on the champions page on our website.
As far as the Super Azure Slayer Sunday thing goes, bring Harambe. It's fun.
Yeah. And we noticed a swath of gorillas traveling across the land. Long before the 100 men versus one gorilla meme began, we started seeing members in our community start a gorilla joke that was going on for a minute now. If you come to our PvP event, definitely mount up on a gorilla. That way we can keep the joke going. Because technically, when we do it, it's like we're well, I guess we don't have 100 doing it, do we? But 100.
It might as well be an army of Harambe.
Harambe army, yes, Harambe army, and it's something to see. I mean, you're going into your match, you're getting excited, you're like, I'm gonna fight for my team. You're running into the battlefield, and in the midst of the fray, there it is in the distance. You see a whole pack of gorillas coming in, charging in, with mostly blue-clad riders, charging towards you. It's a little bit terrifying.
Is it called a pack of gorillas or a herd?
I don't know. That's a great question, actually. I'm gonna have to look that up later.
A murder of gorillas.
A murder. It's now a murder of gorillas. It is now. No, it is now. It is now a murder. 100%.
Murder of
There we
murderous
go.
gorillas.
I mean, I heard it from
man.
Murder of Crows. So
Yeah,
that's
true.
how.
That is true for crows. Not sure if there's an official name for gorillas, but yeah.
It is called a
I'll stick
band,
with
a
murder.
troop, or it is a band, a troop, or a whoop.
A whoop?
A whoop.
A
That is fun.
A whoop. Okay. All right.
And we're gonna open up a can of
Open
whoop
up a
ass
can
in
of
there.
whoop. Yeah. That's exactly where my brain went. That's funny. You said it right before I did. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
God.
We'll stick with Murder of Gorillas.
Oh
It's-
goodness.
It fits with the Super Azure Slayer. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Murder of murderous, a whoop of murderous gorillas. I don't know.
there we go.
Whoop ass.
Oh goodness. Oh.
Good times. I said the gorilla is not required, but it is requested.
Yeah. Help us keep the meme
Recommended.
going. Yeah, especially if you come to the event, we'll keep the meme going. It's also pretty funny when we get out of queue and we see a whole bunch of people like jumping around the lawn, crazy on gorillas, just
They're
going crazy.
hilarious.
It's pretty funny looking, yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Well, we've been seeing a lot of new faces around the community, a lot of new people coming in, especially with the recent server thing that was going on. We had the only opening in Ether data center. This was Midgard Stormer was the only non-legacy. There was only one other server, and that was Sargatanas, a legacy server. Other than that, Ether data center was closed. This was for about close to was it 5 or 6 weeks, I think, and then it closed again for who knows how long. Like, sometimes it's every patch it'll open up. We're not sure, but what we do know is a lot of people are coming over to Ether, a lot, and Ether's a very popular data center, very well known for raiding. And this was a great chance for a lot of people to transfer over. Usually when these things open, we'll put out a ping message for across our Discord server, letting people know, hey, if you've got friends, alts you want to make, whatever, bring them over, because server transfers are not always possible. And even if you got the cash for it, you got to wait for the server to be open. So our server is currently closed. However, if you are interested in joining Azure Infinitum and you're listening to this or have friends who are also interested in joining, you can have them join our Discord as well as register on our website if they wish, and be a FF14 member until availability opens on the server and they're able to transfer. And and then if you're on Midgard Stormer as well, we are always welcoming. We're always recruiting, always open. But with that influx, we saw quite a bit of new faces, and it's very refreshing to see. There's been some awesome new people that have showed up, been getting involved already. Some of them even starting to the scout path in our community. Very awesome to see new support members as well. And another big round of welcoming to our new members that may be listening. I know we have a new tradition at our grand assemblies where we like to read off the names, and I know Cynic is proud of at least one of the ones he got me to say for his
Several.
recruitment
There were several. A poo sock, yes.
Yep, shout out to Pusok, a newer member of ours. Which
Greatest
I
name
can't
ever.
believe is a word I actually said at the assembly.
I busted out laughing.
Oh,
It
goodness.
was awesome. It was amazing. But no, yeah, all the new members, and there's more to come. I promise you that. I will get as many as I'll fill us up. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for current new and future new, if they happen to hear this, welcome aboard.
Yeah, man. When the server opened, actually right before the server opened, we started the Azure recruitment campaign. So we were rewarding 1 million gil per recruit, and we did have to cap it at a certain point. We kind of didn't really have an idea of where that would be.
Sorry,
but,
guys.
Cynic here, you went like totally ham on recruitment, and it was really, really awesome to see. Especially like we weren't really sure if the server was going to open. I just started the campaign to open our doors and kind of increase the likelihood that we would see an uptick in recruitment. Basically, we'd see an uptick in recruitment, and kind of start preparing, because what's ahead? Cosmic Exploration was ahead as well, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit, as well as the field op content, and of course, it's always in our best interest to begin building the next generation of recruits. So with a lot of our talented scouts that we have today, those that were interested in taking part in that in any form, whether it was applications or in the form of one-on-one recruitment, that it was really nice to see. All right, and on the topic of Azure events, like we just mentioned, Super Azure Slayer Sunday, Monstrous Mondays is now working on the Zillennia EX trial. That's the EX4 of Dawntrail for the current patch, Seekers of Eternity, patch 7.2. And we are doing weekly Monday learning parties for those in our community. Learning the fight. It's really nice. You want to come down Monstrous Mondays and group in the yard. Where our events group at, and we'll fit you in a learning party. If you don't know the fight and you're brand new to it, you are more than welcome to attend. Tuesday, we have moved on from the Vanadil raids and are now running the Arcadian second tier. This is actually the 7th week this week. Those have been doing it since patch launch 7 weeks ago now have their tome weapons if they've been saving their tomes. Yeah, real quick, what's your guys' take on the new Arcadian? How do you feel about the new characters and fights?
The Brute Abomination, he can go back where he came from.
I was like...
So I personally cannot understand as to why they decided to put him as the 3rd instead of the final, considering in my opinion he is by far the hardest one. Mm-hmm. But it is a fun fight.
Definitely is a healer tech fight. Oh.
It's an everything
if you have
check.
no idea how to heal, if you have no idea how to heal promptly, your team is gonna get wiped.
It is definitely an everything check. If the DPS isn't there for it, your tanks have to mitigate like a lot of the raid wides, which is crazy for that. But it's really fun though. I hated it at first because it took me about 2 hours to prog it with not Party Finder, but with roulette basically. But other than that, it was a lot of fun. I just sucked.
That new Brutal Abominator, I mean, man, that guy is pretty tough. I was surprised he was willing to go all the way with his sacrifice there to become that thing. And that was quite the fight, especially week one. Week one was pretty insane. When I went on in the morning to learn the fight prior to the FC event later in the afternoon, I was pretty shocked. So were a lot of other people that were there for week one. We were like, wow, that we're actually, there's a lot of mechanics. 3 phases and 3 arena changes too. Or 2 arena changes following the first one. So you start on the skyscraper construction and stuff like that, and then you end up on the other half, and then you're down below and it's all on fire. I think the thing that is the hardest part of that, besides just remembering to stand behind the petrification, which is actually pretty easy once you get the hang of it, it's probably just making sure to watch those lariats following when he jumps on the wall.
To backpedal the whole petrification thing. Fun fact: you don't need to kill all of them, just one. Let all the other ones die to the petrification. It's a first strat.
Yeah, and soaking that tower, killing at least one of those, takes remembering interrupt. Lots of stuff that goes into that fight, and then of course watching out for the club and the sword, making sure that you're in when we see the sword, not when we see the club. And I know across the weeks we've seen a lot of people in our own community learn the mechanics and improve. We're still seeing some people get a hang of it, but overall it's a lot of fun, and we clear each time. I think the Gundam Digimon guy is a pretty cool fight, actually. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. Gundam Digimon
That one is a
guy.
lot of fun.
Moonlight.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I mean,
Back in Moonlight is a nightmare.
Beck in Midnight. Yeah, that's probably the biggest hang up of it, especially when we get into phase 2. Beck in Moonlight, Beck in Moonlight, man. Whew. Yeah, because you got to watch which order that they split.
But yeah, like I love it simply because like I think my favorite thing in the game anymore is Gold Saucer, right? Who doesn't love Gold Saucer except for the jumping puzzle ones? Anyways, the gates, what I'm referring to. The slices right is really fun. They implement that into that raid fight. I love it, but I hate it at the same time. But I love it.
Yo, Jimbo Towers.
I get tank privilege. So I can take a few of those hits and not die. But I laugh sometimes maniacally when people run into where they're falling. I guess I'm just a sadist that way. Other than that,
I'm a sage, so I can like mitigate a bit, so it's fine.
Yeah, sages are awesome too. I love a good sage.
Well, you have me.
Like we say during those nights, heals and shields. It's great to have a good barrier and traditional healer on hand as well. Those shields definitely help. As far as the other fights, those disco frogs, how about those guys? I know week 1 we were dying crazy from the spotlight mechanic.
The spotlight mechanic wasn't too bad for me. It was whenever they started to circle, like they pulled up the frog, I guess his little cohorts, his dance partners, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, the moonwalkers.
Yeah, and I died. I still die so many times with them because I can never dictate which one is in or out until it's too late. I just don't pay attention, I guess, because my attention span is very small.
You know what I discovered is when the spotlights come out and you don't have a thing over your head, just don't worry about the spotlights. When you have the thing over your head, at that point you'll usually see the moonwalking frogs have kind of like come out while we were paying attention to other mechanics, because we're having to do the the 2 snaps and the 4 snaps and all that. You'll notice that as long as they're not like it's not circling, but going against the perimeter of the outer part of the arena, then that means when the spotlights show, the outsides are going to be safe and the inside's going to be dangerous. That's the best way to pretty much watch for that mechanic. Otherwise, it's if you don't see where they went by the time they disappear, then it's possible you'll be screwed. But
no, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
And then obviously the second one being the best just because the banger of a bop that plays during the fight. I love that song.
The disco one, or are you talking about
no,
2?
The in 2.
Oh,
2 is
Cruiserweight in 2. Yeah. That song's catchy.
I know that whoever orchestrated all of the songs for all 4 of them cooked hardcore. All of them were great. I'm gonna have to buy that. I have in their M3s. I bought that one just because I was tired of trying to farm for it, because I hate that fight with a fiery passion. But
I don't know how much they are on the market board.
That was the best like 1 mil I ever spent. Not really.
No.
All in all, though, it was great fights, good times, especially with the event, both prime time and late night for that. I love it. I made a lot of friends doing that. I can safely say that they will not forget me for my, I say this ironically, my excellent leadership skills. No, my call outs for the first time that you asked me to step in and help lead that for prime time, it was atrocious. Absolutely atrocious, because I was like 7 monsters deep. I could see sound. I was so wired.
Yeah, those are fun nights, though, especially if you attend either one or back to back. We have a good time during those raids. You usually see a couple parties group.
Anytime you get me hosting anything, I will tell you this much: I will make it as fun as possible. I love having a fun time and making memories and all that stuff. Ongoing gags like the Harambe from PvP. I love continuing gags and making new ones and everything like that. It's extreme fun for us.
It's actually really great that both of you were able to make it, given that, in somewhat recent times, you've both become scout captains. Scout captains in Azure Infinitum are event hosts that are cleared and assigned to host our live events. So having you both here to talk about events is also really nice.
It's
all
nice
I
to
do
be
is
here.
naps.
All you do is nap.
That's all I do.
Okay, so you're
through
now my
maps.
senpai. You're now my senpai, Rue. You have to teach me how to nap because I don't know how to sleep. Period.
Map. M-A-P.
Map, nap, map or nap.
Map. Okay, M as in
The
Mike, not N as
Friday.
in November. Got
Oh.
you.
The
Maps.
Friday.
Wait,
Nah,
you did say map
Friday
originally.
night.
I thought you said nap.
I
I'm
said
sorry.
nap.
I thought you said nap, like taking a nap.
I thought you said nah. That's what I thought too. That's yeah. We are sorry,
Sorry.
Matt. If I don't
There.
rack out, I will be there. I need Gil, more Gil. I want to be a Gillionaire. So freaking bad.
Well, last week we had a fig coffer drop.
I haven't seen a fig. I haven't seen a pig in so long.
Didn't you see one last night?
I've seen.
Or you mean for you?
No, for anyone. I was joking about whenever I said 6 figs last night. I was joking about that, trying to make y'all, amped up to bring the luck towards y'all. We got to get this stuff. They're beating us. No, it didn't happen. No. The most we saw was several dichromatic dyes and a couple of the gemstones. I can't remember what they're called, but yeah, a few of the gemstones too. I now have like 17 different glasses in my retainer that aren't worth anything, so I just kind of give them out to anyone that wants them.
Well, following Tuesday raids, we've got Wondrous Wednesdays. Wondrous Wednesdays, since the last episode of the podcast, has been very much reworked. We have a awesome system of doing double rounds, where one round focuses on the trials that people have in their books, going from Stormblood all the way up through Endsinger in Endwalker. The reason why we cut it off at Endsinger is because even with an unsynced 8-man group, there are mechanics, and it is the most recent expansion prior to Dawntrail, so there can be some moments that are a little bit tough, especially if we don't have a full group. We usually cap it at Endsinger. Most of the time, it's not too hard to get Endsinger clear, but that's just kind of the cutoff. Reason why we don't do prior to Stormblood, well, that stuff's pretty soloable, and for the event, it seems to be a perfect amount of time for the first half, events being about 2 hours. So going into the second round, we actually have the raids portion, and that will go all the way up through Dawntrail, since Arcadian's not hard to do. And so by the time that we finish on Wondrous Wednesday nights, most people who've attended have gotten most of their stickers, and then sometimes groups might split off or go do roulettes and get the rest, and it's just a nice way to do our books together. Now that the event has been revamped since the start of the year, we've actually seen some new faces that haven't attended Wondrous Wednesdays before, some returning faces to the event, and quite a bit more excitement. I think the thing that we did before was a little monotonous, and over the years a lot more content has been added to the game. So given the fact that we've got more stuff in the books and different stuff in the books than we've had before, it's kind of nice to kind of get a different way of doing it. That way we're not queuing for things that nobody has in their books. And of course, we were just talking about maps. Treasure Thursdays, that has seen just like Wondrous Wednesdays, has seen new loot for the new patch. Even if we haven't announced a change to the event does have new loot every time there's a patch. Right now, as Cynic was saying earlier, and Rue, is the Figmental coffers, very, very sought after, as well as the dichromatic dyes and the leather straps. Very, very good. I got one of those last night. Those are going for about 800k a piece. I don't know about the dyes, and the figs are still around 3.6, 3.7. I was just gonna say the fig coffers are the ones that give the Figmental weapons. Those are kind of like the quote-unquote joke weapons, and those are like the fork and spoon, or like I don't know, like an umbrella or something like that, or like a bouquet that's a gun. Those are highly sought after, so they come from maps, and whoever attends has a shot at getting them.
I was saying the dichromatic dyes, they have blended in price. They are about 100k a piece. Unfortunate for those that want to sell them, but very fortunate for those that want to craft the neon street attire.
Oh, that's
I have
right.
so many of those leather straps. I'm like,
The leather straps are used to craft the bouncer set, both the holstering and non-holstering. You need one for each piece. They are it's a very nice looking set. If you are like into like the whole dapper, suit and tie type thing, looks great. I actually love it. I use it a lot. If you're not an omni-crafter or you don't do a lot of crafting yourself, link up with a few of the crafters. You can get those things crafted. And if you want to make gil, you can sell them as they are, or you can actually get the rest of the materials, which is I think just a few leather skins. I can't remember. It's like the blah 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 blah, the Neoplorodon, magical Neoplorodon, Charlie. That whole leather, not leather, but the skins itself. I don't know what they're called. You need 2 or 3 per piece. They're dirt cheap, you can get somebody to craft them for you. And then you can put the pieces back on the market board and make, I think, double the profit that you would from the leather strap.
And like we said before, Friday Night Treasure Fights is a second opportunity to try maps with the FC as well and attend and maybe get some good loot. Though Friday night is a Dawn Trail focus for the level 100 Braxkin maps, where we welcome all the other ones from Heaven's Word up on Thursday nights. So Thursday, all the 8-mans from Heaven's Word up. Friday, Braxkins. And of course, we've got our bi-weekly events still going. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Rue.
And I would sometimes host on Fridays, so expect to see me around sometimes there.
Azure Bunny.
So, Azure Bunny or just Tonberry if I'm in the mood.
Azure Tonberry, Azure Bunny, Shapeshifter. All
I
right.
change my glam a bit.
And and we do have our bi-weekly Saturday events as well. That's Mega Mountathon, Savage Saturdays, and our Azure Fate Farmers. Fate Farmers focuses on the Fate ranks. Oh, there's a Tonberry. And Mega Mountathon currently focusing on Voidcast Dice, which the first week went pretty well.
It went great. It started off a little rough, trying to get used to the mechanics, because some of us have never been in there before. But after we got the mechanics down pat, we were seeing clear after clear. A few of us got the mounts. Got the mount rather.
Yeah, well, it was ended up. We weren't really sure how we were gonna see it happen, because there was a challenging fight in its time, and we're not super far away from it. Is just being slightly in the next expansion, a few patches in, and we just had a pleasant surprise that the team took well to it, did it, knocked it out, got some mounts. It was great. And then of course with our Fate ranks and Savage Saturdays, those are other opportunities to get involved in those content. Just keep in mind that Savage Saturdays does not do current Savage. The whole point of it is to get mounts that people may not have gotten before from the older Savages that are unsynced. Typically we'll see weeks where we run Eden one week. Then the next one later on in the month, we'll start with Omega, I should have said, and then Eden towards the end of the month. And then every once in a while, after it's been a while, we'll try another attempt at P4S. We got really close last time to starting to see clears, and those Savage mounts are guaranteed. So it's not like, farming them is 7-8 clears gets everybody their stuff. So, depends on how many show up, but hopefully we have 8 for that. We are not going to do P4S for a little while, given the fact that we did that not too long ago. So the next few Savage Saturdays are just going to focus on getting everybody that shows the Omega and Eden stuff. So that's 3 mounts you may not have, up to 3, depending on if you've done those before, that you will definitely get because they're guaranteed. And that covers our event schedule, except for we do have something nice that has happened, and something that has returned that we haven't seen in quite a while. Back in March, Monster Hunter Wilds released, and the return of the Azure Hunters clan, originally founded back in 2018 for Monster Hunter World's release, and has seen 3 spurts in Azure. During its time, it's taken a couple breaks in between Monster Hunter games. There's a point where, because they're not MMOs, there is a point where they do kind of die down a little bit. The expansion comes out, and then the next game, after a little while. And so our Hunters clan had a great run following the launch of Monster Hunter World, came back for Iceborne, ran for a while, and then took a little break and had its second major stint was during Rise's release, where we were doing World and Rise, because World's interest was renewed, kind of like it was prior to Wild's launch, but given that it was still further back in the past, definitely saw more people playing World at that time too. So we're doing World and Rise events for a while, and now its third saga as a clan is totally capped, actually, in Wilds. For those that really want in, we might remove an inactive or something like that to make space. But we need those who want in to let us know in the Discord, because we have a Monster Hunter chat and a repository for Hunter IDs, which is really, really helpful. As well as the link to, or not link, but the code to put in to find the clan in game should also be in there as well. So that'll help get you going in our clan. And also, in our daily event schedule weekly, we have our Huntathon every Sunday, where we try to work on farms, hunter rate grinding, and just some nice Azure clan stuff. Maybe there's something that somebody needs, maybe they need some help from some pros, and we'll get that stuff done every Sunday during Huntathon. We'll keep that going for quite a while. This is still fairly new, and the game is only a couple months old, and just the very first seasonal event just hit. That was the Blossom Dance Festival. That was a lot of fun. They've got a DLC up for those that may not have won the event items, but you want to buy them for $14.99. That's kind of a nice option, actually. And in the future, there will be more title updates. Title updates are kind of like Monster Hunter Wilds' patches, per se, where a couple of one or two new fights come out. We just got Arc Tempered Raydao, or Rayda Dragon, which is one of the cooler fights, in my opinion, in the game. Giant electric dragon. Maybe those listening might have seen on our YouTube channel, there was a couple beta events that we did, where those that were playing the beta last year got together and we fought the Raydao together, which was kind of like the boss of the beta in a sense. And needless to say, we really wanted to kill that thing once it got into the main game. I've been streaming and recording it and putting the VODs up on my Twitch, as well as those will be up on YouTube soon. I'm going to be posting my whole playthrough of the game. And Huntathons in the near future will also be posted on our YouTube. So come along if you like to play Monster Hunter Worlds, you want to join our clan, or even if you want to play alongside us or during Huntathons, you're also welcome to join our Discord as a Monster Hunter member. Cynic, what happened to your pants?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I saw that.
This is top tier. This is top tier white mage apparel.
So if you make that purple, does that make you a Grimace Jester?
Santa Claus ain't real.
Oh man, well, I was dropping a bomb there. All right, well, continuing real quick here with a few more bits of community news. We did have Azure Grand Assembly April 2025, not too long ago, about a week and a half ago. And we loved the turnout. We had an awesome turnout. Lots of people participated on Twitch, in the Grand Assembly channel here on Discord, as well as in game. It was great to see you all that came, and I've seen quite a bit of people have checked out the recording afterwards. Also an awesome and helpful way for folks who couldn't make it in game to also figure out, find out what we talked about there at the assembly. We have some pretty nice raffles, and we'll be having another one here in a couple weeks. Stay tuned for the official announcement on that. At the assembly, I had mentioned some of the things we talked about here with the additions of content to things like maps, Wondrous Tales, things like that, as well as the new raids, and discussed how those were going. I also talked about the field op that's coming out. You guys excited for Crescent Isle?
I am beyond excited for Crescent Isle. I'll be farming that nonstop.
I've done Eureka a little bit and a bit of Basha, so doing this in content is something that I'm very excited for, but at the same time I might have a bit of a FOMO because of my busy schedule. So yeah.
The glorious thing about this stuff is FOMO is non-existent in this game unless it's like the timed events, like the Hatching Tide or whatever be it. That's the only part of the FOMO. You have to wait a whole year to get what's to come the following year. So, but like with Crescent Isle, there's no need to be worrying about missing out. There will be people in there constantly. I know myself, I'm going to be going for all the new. I think they're introducing relic weapons with it, if I'm not mistaken. And I will, if that's the case, I'll be farming for every single one of them. I'll always be in there. So, if you feel like you're going to miss out, let me know. I'll go in there with you.
They have mentioned that there's going to be big breaks in it, like in between. There's going to be one big map that they said should take you roughly 6 months to complete. About 6 months to complete if you were to do everything. There will be phantom jobs to level, a special challenge place called Fork Tower. Not sure if that's the equivalent of Baldesian Arsenal for Crescent Isle, or if that's more like a Castrum Lacus Latour. So we'll see how that works when we get there. Maybe those listening already know, because there's been an announcement somewhere or a note during a live letter that I missed. But it's going to be interesting. Overall, for an FC event, we are going to start doing Friday primetime. There will be a Friday primetime event for Crescent Isle or Field Op, probably Field Op Fridays or something like that. We're not really sure yet, because Field Op Fridays also implies that we might be doing like Eureka or Bozja too, which we've done 16 months of both of them before. So as an FC, we want to focus on, you know, mostly the current stuff, and we'll at least be doing something like Crescent Fridays or something like that. Last time when we did Bozja and Zadnor, we also had a catch-up day too, for people that couldn't join the other one, and we would position them at 2 different time zones. So one late night style thing and also a prime time style thing, both over the weekend, maybe a Saturday night or a something that doesn't conflict with all the other stuff that we have going on, and Friday slot. And that Friday slot, that will be prior to Friday Night Treasure Fights. It's going to be probably in the 5 to 7 slot Pacific. So please look forward to it. That will be us going out as an FC in big groups to do whatever we need to farm, because usually that content has some pretty big group activity that makes it really convenient to have a group for. And yeah, and that was a major announcement that we made at the assembly recently. I'm very excited for it. Azure has been at the forefront of every Field Op since the other 2, and then now the 3rd one that's been added. Next year, we'll have the other half. So kind of like how we got Bozja Southern Front, and then we got Zadnor. We're going to be getting Crescent Isle, and then part 2, probably the other side of the Isle, or something like that. When it gets here. So that'll be really interesting, and there'll be another set of jobs to level and other challenges and things like that when we get there as well. So exploring the Isle, collecting knowledge, kind of similar to Logos actions and things like that we had before, as well as the resistance abilities and ranks and stuff like that we saw in Bozja. And it's going to be a good time. We'll see what group content benefits the most from an event, and then we'll focus on that. But it will definitely be something that we're going to be doing from week 1 until it really super dies out, which is going to go a long time, really long time. And this is the relic content of Dawn Trail. Also announced at the assembly, besides the tournament and the new event that's coming, we discussed the current needs of the community. Really mainly comes down to folks that are willing to help make and or contribute repair kits, Magitech repair materials in FF14. These are needed by our workshop, and it can be a little bit of a pain for us to constantly have to go after, but if the community is doing it together, then that's really super helpful. And so far, we've seen a couple people put a lot of effort into bringing in a ton of them, but we do need a lot more. And as we go forward with our subs being fully leveled, they're going to be, being checked every day, every like 2 days or so. They need like a repair. So, and that uses several kits a piece, and then times 4, and etc. And as well, we have a number of needs across our network. We have quite a bit of guilds running, guilds across all the games that Azure supports: Final Fantasy XIV, Destiny 2, Elder Scrolls Online, Phantasy Star Online 2, Guild Wars 2, Star Wars: The Old Republic, Throne of Liberty, Monster Hunter, World of Warcraft, and now Star Citizen. WoW and Star Citizen are 2 new wings for Azure Infinitum, following the return of the Monster Hunter wing, meaning we're running a total of 10 Azure wings. Quite impressive. ESO actually also has PS and PC, so in a way it's almost like 11 guilds. That's pretty neat. Really great to see each and every one of them doing something and growing. Some of them slower than others, and some of them much faster than well, it's almost the same saying the same thing. Much faster, others slower. It's just been really nice to see that happen. Yeah, and then we recently saw a couple new wing commanders promoted not too long ago. Scout Captain Marshall, also known as Kiki Mokiki in Final Fantasy XIV, and Zaravith in our World of Warcraft guild, has taken the mantle of Star Citizen and World of Warcraft wing commander. Both Marshall and Kikori Kori, who is a Scout Pathfinder wing commander in training, has been extremely active in those new wings and has done a lot to get some of their guild banks and other things, resources, set up for us for the future. We've seen a good chunk of people already starting to fill slots in those guilds, and that's been really nice to see. Star Citizen was also something that I never really expected to see for us, but it's really starting to come together, and the game is actually only a few updates away from full launch. It's got quite a bit of impressive technology behind it, and the player base who likes it really is passionate about it. And it's nice to see us kind of get involved prior to its official launch, and then kind of prepare ahead of time and be ready for when it hits. There's a lot, like I said, it's a lot going into it. It's the most expensive game development in history, nearing $1 billion in development. And just seeing us kind of at the forefront of that is really cool. Azure Legion is our guild over there. The link to join, since it's done through the website, is not only found on our wing page for it on azureinfinitum.com, but also in the pins for the channel in our Discord. Speaking of wing commanders, Wing Commander V for Destiny 2 has recently retired from our wing commander position. We wish V the best in his raiding and other adventures. However, he will be remaining within our community as well, just stepping down from that position. Wing Commander is a position that will help drive the wing forward, aka guilds and other games outside of our core in 14. Those who step up to help push them forward are greatly appreciated, and often have opportunities within our support ranks, as well as working up in leadership as well. The one to succeed V in helping lead our Destiny events, which they're currently on hold, but they're about to be reinstated very soon. We've been reworking some things, as well as we wanted to time some of these events as well with the content in Destiny right now. Going through the Revenant series and making sure we got people caught up, and also returning to full recruitment there after a little bit of a lull in the game. Now, as things return, we've actually named a new wing commander for Destiny 2. Here with us is Cynic, that's already in the channel here. Congratulations, Cynic.
Heyo.
And thank you for
thank you.
stepping up to become the next wing commander of Destiny 2, Azure Wardens.
I got some pretty big shoes to fill from my understanding. V was an excellent guy as a wing commander, and he's an excellent person, period. I look forward to playing with him in the future.
He's an incredibly talented player, yes.
And like I said, I have big shoes to fill. But you know what? I can fill them.
Well, when it comes down to it, we need passionate people who are there, just like during our events in 14, passionate people who are there to make it happen. Whether you're perfect at it, whether or not you're knowledgeable of everything in the game or not, what it comes down to is a heart that's willing, and to help rally our people. When our people are together and have someone to host those events and lead them, that's a huge support for us. And those listening, if you're in Scouts or other ranks in our community, stepping up to get involved in hosting can lead to many paths in our community. It's a great way as well on the leadership path for us to know that you work well with members and are passionate in leading these kind of things. To see you hold the reins and come up in rank by gaining that experience is really important for us to see as well. And both of you being scout captains, you've both done that and been cleared for events. Yeah, looking forward to your future as wing commander, Cynic. Major reveals from Bungie's May 6, 2025 live stream detailing the Year of Prophecy, which is technically 2 expansions, as I understand it, kind of smushed together. Talking the upcoming Fate Saga is what they fall under. The key points of that starts off with the Edge of Fate expansion. This is set for release July 15th, 2025. The expansion kicks off the Fate Saga, introducing a new threat predating known entities in the Sol system, tied to the enigmatic 9, the 9, like Xur and other 9. I really don't know if have we seen anybody besides Xur? I don't know if we ever have.
No, like you see some of the 9.
Yeah.
Okay, you see some of them, like in the prophecy dungeon at the very end. That big head after you.
A big head.
I'm pretty sure the big head is one of the 9. At the end of the prophecy dungeon.
Oh, okay.
Like, so they don't have names. They have like very little dialogue. So if like what's to come, if they actually provide that stuff and give us more intel on the 9, that'd be great. Because there's like that's a whole faction that we don't even know about. So we don't know anything about.
I've heard that like they're outside of the dealings of like humanity and the other aliens and stuff, but they're amused as well by us as well. So they're kind of just an enigmatic. I guess that describes them really well. Group that exists. So the Fate Saga, I think, is going to start dealing with the 9. I think that's a great place for them to go because, like we've done a lot of other stuff and there's still mysteries out there.
I'm actually eager to see how that goes, or what direction that goes into. If that's the case, I'm very eager for it.
Oh yeah. A prologue event, Rite of the Nine, actually launched on May 6th. It's a dungeon-themed activity with difficulty modes for all players.
From my understanding, it's either solo or up to 2 people, I believe. I could have read that wrong, but it looks extremely fun too.
Actually, speaking of V, I actually saw him recently asking if people wanted to do Rite of the Nine. So maybe that'll be something we might be able to think about with events. If we have kind of a clan nights, as we call them for Destiny, are usually open to, we'll see who shows up. We'll kind of talk about what's needed. And figure it out. It's also very good for us to have a theme as well. That's just why we did like Crucible nights and stuff like that in the past. So upcoming, we'll probably see about 2 of those clan nights a week, and then maybe one will be like an open night for different things like that. Because stuff like Rite of the Nine kind of comes out of nowhere, and then suddenly it's like content that people want or need. So later this year, following the Edge of Fate, which is also going to be a whole adventure of its own. The second expansion is on December 2nd, towards the end of the year. It is a Lucasfilm authorized expansion that brings Star Wars content, including lightsabers, Han Solo's blaster, and darkside skins like Vader, General Grievous, Kylo Ren. It's also part of the Fate saga, but leans heavily into Star Wars aesthetics. So this is like a interesting new thing that we haven't really seen before, because we've seen crossovers with like the store, right? Like on Eververse. But this is like fully canon, they said. Fully canon, which is really neat. I mean, Destiny could really go to a lot of different universes, or have a lot of different universal themes beyond just collabs, given the fact that there's all this like paracausal anomaly type stuff going on. And they're looking at a new content model too. 2 expansions annually. That's 2 expansions a year. Each roughly the size of D1's Rise of Iron is kind of what they were saying. So along the free updates that are between them, this will reduce downtime and replace the traditional seasonal model. I'm curious about that. I think that, what are you thinking, Cynic? I know you play a lot of Destiny too.
I never really played before, so I don't know anything really about the Rise of Iron. But if they are to bring out content like that, and if they were to bring it out as rapidly as like up to 2 expansions per year, then that would mitigate the whole drip feed thing that they have going on right now, which can leave content very dull if they continue the drip feed. I'm excited that they do that route, because I mean, it could inevitably mean more content for the players to actually partake in, and still have things to do up into the release of the next one.
What's interesting too is that the reveal actually detailed a new portal feature for streamlined activity access, power progression changes, activity customization, gear tiering, and a shooting range with scoreboards. A new Sparrow with combat abilities was also teased. So pretty interesting.
That right there in its own right. Yeah, the Sparrow with combat capabilities gives me hope that I could finally get what I've been asking for, which is a Sparrow Demolition Derby. That'd be awesome.
Man, that would be awesome. Also, those listening, if you hear this, don't forget to check Xur. Whether you get hear this tonight or at another time, Xur's return back today with the new exotic and legendary gear, with the exotic cipher quest remaining a weekly priority that I think everybody should check regularly. And Trials of Osiris is currently unavailable due to Iron Banner running, but Heresy has introduced a simplified Trials format with 2 passages and new weapons like Exalted Truth and Keen Thistle. Just some highlights this week.
I actually have a question regarding the Star Wars thing in Destiny.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a permanent thing, since it's going to be welded into the canon of the game?
So, typically the expansions
I don't play it, so I don't know.
Yeah. Typically the expansions are. So that's why I'm really excited about this, because if Renegades and Edge of Fate are treated the same way Final Shape and the other expansions are, then those campaigns will be available, but the patch stories in between will be vaulted if they do it that way. So that seems to be the way they're still going to do it. It's just that the normal seasonal progression that usually takes place with like a battle pass and stuff like that in between, it's going to be a little bit different. The way they did it between then and between what happened before last year with the last year's expansion was an episodic thing that they did just for now until we get to what's coming up, and so I believe that should be I mean, it's treated as an expansion, so all expansion campaigns are permanent. So unless they announce otherwise. That's a very good question, but I'm pretty sure it will be. What's weird about it is that there's collab items for Star Wars that already came in. Like there's a TIE fighter. I had to get it right away. It makes TIE fighter sounds and it's awesome. There was other Star Wars stuff that I couldn't resist getting, but they were collab items. What's coming is actually stuff that's like included in that expansion, and the expansion's themes are super Star Wars based and Lucasfilm approved. So I'm real curious how that's gonna turn out, but it, you know, like I said, being an expansion, it should stick around. So that's the best answer I can give you right now.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be something like in 14, like they did FF13, like
a crossover event
items, and then they put it into Mog Station for you to buy, and then.
So the collab items?
The online store, yeah.
The collab items are in Destiny's online store for the collab that already happened, but what's coming up is actually a Star Wars themed expansion. So it's not an event. Yeah. This is like an expansion that you buy the expansion and it's in your game, and it has a story, and it's really kind of caught a lot of people off guard, but we're like, oh wow, cool, ? Like we weren't expecting that, but it's pretty neat. Moving on to Elder Scrolls, just a couple notes here. We have a crime wave event going on right now where thieving is promoted. So everybody's stealing, and there's a 100% increase in selling your stolen items with a 25% boost in gold if you're selling stolen goods. Players also receive a pouch of ill-gotten goods for completing Dark Brotherhood and Thieving Guild daily quests. So the 45 or 50 or so people that we've got over in ESO, make sure that you're doing your pickpocketing and all the other stuff going on. Since Crime Wave, let's see, how long does that last? I know it began on May 3rd, so it's already been up for a week. Usually it's about 3 weeks for their events. We've also got an upcoming subclassing system. So there's a bunch of announcements, not just Destiny, but ESO's got the 2025 content expansion. The actual name of it is the 2025 content expansion. They're actually not giving it a name this time. So if you buy the 2025 content pass, you'll be able to get everything that's coming up, like Seasons of the Worm Cult, a new narrative arc that's actually a sequel to the base game. Over at ESO, you can play the expansions in any order because they're all different stories. They're all individual. But this is the first time there's actually been a sequel to the base game story, which deals with Molag Bal, the Daedric Lord, and the worm cult that worshipped him, that actually kills you in the beginning of the game and takes your soul, and you've got to, like, you know, get your soul back by fighting the Daedric Lord. So the sequel to that is actually finally coming out. Season of the Worm Cult introduces Isle of Solstice, a new region with Caribbean-inspired aesthetic blending, as well as Altmer and Argonian styles. And this content's a part of a shift to a seasonal model that they're trying to go towards, with major updates expected in June. So I kind of feel like ESO's taking a cue from how Destiny has been with its seasons, and now Destiny is like moving on to a different model as well. So it's going to be interesting to see ESO kind of take that route. Crown Store updates for May. They announced new items in the store, including exotic beasts, stylish weapons, attire, and more, that are all going to be available this month. As well, if you get the 2025 content pass, there's a bunch of stuff that's available right away, which is really cool too, including a mount and stuff. Yeah, it's been really interesting. They're also looking at adding in additional role-playing opportunities. Pretty neat. And like I said earlier, the upcoming subclass system, update 46, which is the patches in ESO are called updates with numbers, coming in June. It's going to allow players to actually mix skill lines from their different classes. So a Templar, Necromancer, or maybe a Dragon Knight Warrior. Kind of exciting for single character players, offering over 3,000 class combinations and flexibility. So that's kind of exciting for ESO players right now. Those in the Azure Infinitum ESO guilds, whoops, I just bumped something. Those in the Azure Infinitum ESO guilds, look forward to a ton of class creativity coming up in June. So speaking of Star Wars, over in Old Republic, we've been keeping our buffs up over at the flagship. Some really good opportunity, actually, if you want additional was it? I think it's our conquest points invasions. We've been keeping those up each week. So those who are on those planets that we're invading, usually we'll either announce it or mention it in the SOTOR chat or somewhere in the guild in-game. Like I said, you get an invasion bonus if you're on a planet that we've parked our Azure flagship over. Pretty cool stuff. Also, this week in SOTOR, Game Update 7.7 Dynamic Worlds is a content update that is available on the public test server. There was a live stream yesterday, very similar to FF14's Letter for the Producer Live, which detailed everything shown coming for Game Update 7.7. I'm actually pretty excited as a SOTOR player for this coming update. There's been some Star Wars Day stuff that's been pretty cool. There was a really neat little minion that they gave out. They always give one out each year. Last year was like a Darth Maul droid that was kind of cool. This time it was one that was sort of based on the droid from Andor, since that's season 2 just premiered over on Disney Plus. There's a bunch of sales going on with the cartel market, and lots of inspired by items that are all based off of different Disney Plus shows, and a double EXP event. So it's a pretty good time to actually get into SOTOR and level a character and get all that extra EXP. But these promotions will be extended for a little bit of time, and then they'll be away, they mentioned. But other than that, 7.7 content, we still have yet to see a bit more of what's coming. So, and of course, our Throne of Liberty wing, the handful of folks that are playing over there have been enjoying the new Talandre expansion. Kind of cool. Get to see an area that we've seen in the distance for a long time, and we finally get to explore. The Lucky Mystic Portal, which actually had a huge bug, for those that know about that. There was a big patch, like I think it was yesterday, there was a client update. So yeah, that was a bad crash with the Lucky Mystic Portal, for those who were unfortunate enough to run into that crash. That was a pretty bad disaster for a moment, but they fixed it. And then oh yeah, and then of course, as we mentioned, our WoW wing earlier, upcoming patch for World of Warcraft expected on June 17th or 18th. That's next month. Is going to introduce a new spell called Recuperate. This was actually kind of big news in the WoW community, allowing all characters to create a campfire and recover 150% of their health over 30 seconds with no mana recovery. This is sparking debate since it's reduced reliance on vendor food and potions, impacting longtime players' expectations of resource management. This the patch also includes lore walking. I like the idea of that because I love lore. A new leveling feature with curated story quests, battle for Azeroth time walking, and accessibility options like the combat assistant and single button assist. I know Marshall was really excited for that as well. This is imagine in an MMO you push one button and it does your rotation for you. That's what's
blasphemy.
Wow, it's like a macro.
Yeah, that's what's getting
Looks
added
like
to
a
WoW.
macro to me.
And if you play it with a controller, you can actually kick all the way back in bed and play WoW with a controller. You just hit one button for your rotation. If you wanna.
Blasphemy. I already do that. Minus the one button thing. I kick back in bed and play.
I also announced the Horrific Visions Revisited, starting May 20th, actually, and not too long from now. Players can actually revisit Enzoth's corrupted versions of Stormwind and Orgrimmar. This update offers mounts, toys, transmogs, and heroic level gear, with popular Horrific Vision masks returning. However, some features like Helm enchants have been criticized for minimal impact. The single button assistant that I mentioned a minute ago for 11.1.7 patch will automate spell rotations with a slight global cooldown penalty. Aimed at making the game more accessible and reducing reliance on third-party add-ons, it's drawn mixed reactions, with some praising inclusivity and others feeling it oversimplifies the gameplay of the game. Blizzard also has plans to limit combat add-ons, real-time tracking, integrated a built-in damage meter to replace mods like those used for Warcraft logs. There is actually also an impact that has been seen lately on the Netflix documentary. I don't know if either of you have seen that, but there was a documentary about it was the story of a guy who was a Norwegian player. He built like a really strong life in WoW and had a debilitating illness, and that movie is actually like getting really big. It's now streaming on Netflix.
Yeah, I seen something about it a while back.
Yeah,
I've seen something about him a while back when like TikTok or something like that, and honestly, the whole story of what happened with him and all that stuff and things he's done.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a heartwarming thing, almost like a tearjerker. It was beautiful.
Oh yeah. No, it 100% has that feeling. Big recommendation, whether you're into World of Warcraft or you just sympathize with MMO players and their lives and how we enjoy these games and how it brings us together. It's definitely a tearjerker. Just wanted to give that a shout out because that's something big that's been going on lately too. And I know we talked about this a little bit earlier, but one more thing on the Star Citizen subject. It is Invictus launch week, May 15th to 27th. May 15th to 27th is Invictus launch week. What that means is that Star Citizen will be free to play during this annual in-game military expo in Area 18, one of the starting areas. Area 18 is kind of like a sort of cyberpunk city. That's actually where I started, allowing players to test fly dozens of ships from various manufacturers. So the ships in Star Citizen, you basically, the way you buy the game is you buy your ship and then you download the copy of the game with the ship that you bought. Really, really neat. I've never seen anything like this before. But say you're like, hey, I don't know if I want to buy that because I want to fly it and see how it feels. I don't have any friends that can let me test fly it or something. You come to the expo, especially during free to play where you don't have to pay any money, download it on your computer, go have a blast, fly all kinds of stuff. The ship will actually, the amount of ships that they offer will also be rotating every day, or every other day, sorry. The event also includes 60 new missions as well, launching with Alpha 4.11, featuring diverse contracts and additional features. Over on the Star Citizen X account, they have been emphasizing excitement for the event, asking fans which manufacturers are actually eager to try. If you know the game, there are different manufacturers that make very different styles of ships, so it's a really, like I said, it's a really nice way to check out those ships. So for Azure members who might be interested, those might have seen the new wing and maybe your interest was piqued by it, and you want to give it a shot and kind of see how it plays, this is a great time to download it for free and test fly some stuff. And as far as the roadmap for the game itself, there has been a progress update very recently, as well as Squadron 42, which is a single player game in the Star Citizen universe that they are developing at the same time. New mission types like animal population control, local site maintenance, and a Fleet Week mission called Hunt the Polaris. This has released features including collision physics updates, balance passes on heavy fighters and grenade launchers, and a new item recovery system that lets players respawn with gear worn at the time they die. That's some stuff that I think our wing could look forward to as well. And just like I said, that test fly thing, I'm really interested in that because I just recently, got into it, and I'm flying what I've been told is a really good moneymaker ship. It's a mining ship. Pretty much has a beam that launches out of it, like a Kamehameha beam at rocks to gather stuff. And I was like, oh, I gotta have that. Once I saw that, I was like, yes, big
Garbage
beam,
truck?
Ranch beam, just destroy the rocks. And then
Ranch. Oh gosh, ranch is mid too.
Yeah, big ranch beam, blow up the rocks, get the resources, get the money. That was my thought process.
Can you name the ships? Can you name them? Can you name the ship?
You can technically name anything you want to, but they have their own names. So, the big beam that it fires, that's what got me. But I was a little bit sad because I wanted a ship I could walk around in, and it's basically just a flying chair with a giant mineral collector thing on the back. And I was just like, it kind of looks like a garbage truck. But yep, that'll be me and my garbage truck flying through space while the others, are all in their different ships. One thing that's really neat is we actually have a few of the concierge in the community. Concierge and Star Citizen are it's a special title given to people that have paid into the game for a while or bought a certain amount of stuff in the shop. They get access to a special forum. They can talk to devs even and have some perks. It's pretty neat. So having concierges in our community as well as people that are passionate about it, that definitely helps when creating a new wing. For sure. So we saw a pretty interesting emergency maintenance pop up the other day. Yesterday, in fact, there was another one where the North American and European data centers for 14 addressed issues related to cosmic exploration. So this is the new crafter gatherer relic stuff. Have you guys delved into that at all?
Not
Yes.
yet for me.
No.
I
No,
managed
as
to go
someone
out there.
who's okay.
Yeah, I managed to go out there. Week 1 and week 2, I spent really hard out there leveling up my gatherers, or not my gatherers, my crafters rather, and partaking in the events, trying to get a job as a pilot, only to get selected like a handful of times out of the many dozen that I've applied for. It's a lot of fun though. The events are phenomenal. The red alerts are great, especially if you want to get a fair chunk of XP for if you're leveling up crafters or gatherers alike. It's all around great. Some of the new cosmetic stuff out there, glamour mounts, minion, they all are great, cool looking stuff, especially if you're into like the whole space theme.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so as someone who has never done it before, like let's say you're starting up, how do you access it?
So there is a quest in Ultraland. It's going to be down by the Leaf quests, I believe. I don't remember the coordinates off the top of my head. You go there, talk to an NPC, you pick up the quest. They'll take you over to the moon, Mare Lamentorium, I think it's what it's called. I don't know. It's hard to pronounce names anymore.
Mare Lamentorium.
Lemon
The Sea of Sorrows.
Yeah. You go out there, you continue the quest, they open it up for you, and then that's it. That's all she wrote.
Now, how do you like progress through the
so
thing?
progressing like getting out there to progress, you literally just go out there and craft. Anything you do crafting or gathering wise will fill up a bar. It's a very grueling process. It's easy, but it takes a while. So it's kind of, from my understanding, it's similar to, was it the diadem? I think is what it's called. Or firmament.
It's
The
kind of a
firmament. Sorry.
combination of East Guardian Restoration and a little bit of Island Sanctuary.
Yeah. So every so often you'll level up the Cosmic Exploration Zone, which would allow you to have different things. Like I think the first level was we got teleporters in a sense, or fast travel points, technically speaking. That'll take you from the main hub to different like sub hubs throughout the area. The most recent one, we actually unlocked a new area. It is very cool. It has like old Allegan tech embedded in the ground. It has
Is that the tunnel?
it has a crack too. Yeah, the tunnel. We've completed the tunnel.
Secret
and
tunnel.
the new area, secret tunnel. That's right.
That's a secret now.
But yeah, all in all, like I'm excited to see what's to come. I haven't been out there for a minute now. I've been too occupied with doing other things in the game, content especially, trying to get my wings from the new Extreme Trials, or the current content Extreme Trials, all of them. Aside from that, Cosmic Exploration is a pretty nice, fun, and chill place. The music behind it too is also pretty cool.
I guess I'll go try it out then.
Yeah, definitely. I recommend it. It's something different, breaks the norm, breaks the monotony. It is pretty fun.
Did we cover the red alerts?
Yeah.
Red alerts are a fate. It's kind of like a fate type of like event type thing that happens. I haven't pinpoint exactly. I want to say anywhere between 3 to like 5 hours. It'll pop one time in that time frame. It's up for about 18 minutes. You go to predetermined destinations. They're going to be specific to whether it's going to be for a certain crafter or gatherer. And you just sit there and either you craft or gather in that area. It'll give you all the items you need to craft what you need to, actually progress. You turn it in and you just rinse and repeat. And once it's completed, you continuously do it until the time runs out. And that will give you a whole bunch of XP if you're leveling, or a whole bunch of the currency out there, which will allow you to get a whole bunch of goodies, a lot of new dyes, the new glamour, the Star Crew, I believe it is. That is actually a pretty nice looking get up.
It was like a space fleet kind of almost Star Trek-y, or just something you'd imagine people on a ship to wear as like a crew, space crew.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. And those they got the tickets that you can get for the the current one of the currencies that they have there's lunar credits and cosmo credits. So I don't know if you you just covered this or not, but the lunar credits are what you use to do the spinny wheel thing that you might see some screenshots of people have been posting for the spin the wheel. And after you get the real special Big Bang ticket, I think you have to do the mech ops for. Mech ops is like, you can go to this one NPC and like basically buy a ticket to potentially be a mech pilot. And then when you do that, when there's a mech op, which is separate from the red alerts, mech ops are kind of like a short thing where you take a mech and you just blow up a bunch of crystals with, yeah, it's that mech, literally. Let me zoom out. So, yeah.
I'll get back
pull
on
it back out. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So for those watching the YouTube video, not the audio-only version of this, Cynic's currently in the mech because it's a mount you can actually get, which is really, really neat. And you want to get that with a big bang ticket as well when you come back from doing the mech ops. Is like a really special spin the wheel thing. So yeah,
there is a slight chance that during the mech ops, if you are the pilot, you are rewarded with the mech as a reward from completing it.
Yep. Yeah, and so one suggestion I have, since red alerts are so helpful, especially if you don't have tons of time, red alerts, you can go to the Ether Hunts Discord, and there's actually a thing you can subscribe to where it's very similar to our server, the way that we do it, but it never hurts to have more pings for something like that. There is no way that they can do it like a hunt notification, but the way they do it is once somebody in that Discord, since that Discord's really huge, once somebody notices that our server has one up, since they're different for different servers, they'll ping the role. So there's like a Midgard, for example, we're on Midgard Stormer, so you'd pick the Midgard Stormer red alert role, and then in the they have something called the Midgard Tavern. Over there it'll tag you if you selected the role for red alerts for our server. So what we do in the Azure server is I keep a monitor up, and many monitors in my room. One monitor always has Discord on it. Usually 2 or 3 do, but one specifically has that server open all the time, waiting for the red alert to pop. When I see that pop up, I have a thing on my computer where there's a red alert GIF, and almost all my computer screens in my room turns into a red alert warning. And it's like a little sound effect. It's like, and then I'm like, oh crap. So I run over to my other computer and I post it in our Discord channel. And that's where we get our red alerts. So if you're in Azure, you can usually bet that somebody who's seeing the red alerts, whether it's I or anybody else, will post it in the Azure one. And you can actually subscribe to red alerts in the Azure server in role select. And when you click it from role select, that means in the DOL, Disciple of Hand, Disciple of Land channel, in the 14 category of our Discord, that'll ping you for red alerts. Now, there's always a chance that I'm asleep or somebody else in the FC didn't see a red alert, or maybe they didn't ping it. But it's, because like I said, this is the best we can do. There is no automated timer for these things, since they're random. But if you have the red alert role, there's a good chance that once in a while you're going to get pinged with a red alert, which really helps if you can pop in real quick and get in and get on that 20 minutes of red alert, because boy, those are really nice to have. They give you a lot of currency. Usually you'll get a couple spins worth. The spins are how you get all the cosmetic stuff, and also the progress on your tools increases greatly during those as well. So yeah, and thank you, Cynic, too, for the explanation of how that works.
You're welcome. I try my best to do it. Sometimes I just, I can't really get everything out like you do. You're a master. I'm the apprentice. So.
Oh. No, it's actually nice that Rue hadn't done it yet, because then we got to explain it to her, and then those listening can also be finding this information useful and helpful as well, which we really hope. We really hope you do that are listening. And Rue, yeah, when you want to get into it too, I'm always happy to show you around on the moon.
I will tell you first and foremost, Rue, when you get out there, if you have any macros for crafting, throw them to the wind. Crafting out there is a lot more tedious. The condition for something, or the durability for some of them, are going to be really low with very high quality and very high blah, 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 blah. Or vice versa. You're going to have very high with very low standards. So if you have macros that you've made for crafting or gathering, there's a chance they may not work. Don't get disheartened. We have several resources that would help you come up with new macros for that.
Okay, because right now I don't have my crafters up to date, so they're not their highest. They're just in their base.
Yeah.
They're not even pentamelded.
To add to that too, in order to unlock it, you have to have at least one character at level 10, I believe. For those that are
everything at 100.
Oh yeah,
I gather and crafter.
Yeah, but for anyone else that is listening in on this, or whatever be it, level 10 is the minimum you can be before you can enter it. Obviously, you have to have Old Charlene unlocked, which is an Endwalker area. So, Endwalker, I think Endwalker MSQ has to be completed. I'm not sure about post, but I'm almost positive main MSQ has to be completed.
I was gonna mention, like, if you could story skip just to like unlock the cosmic exploration thing.
Yeah, you can definitely story skip up to Endwalker now, I believe. I don't recommend it because the story along the way is magnificent.
Also, something really fun to look forward to is they have announced a new planet every patch, so that's pretty big. That's pretty interesting for Cosmic. So we start off with the moon, and we're going to a new planet next patch in 7.3.
So we're getting a taste of Star Citizen.
And another one after that as well. yeah. So we've definitely flown far beyond the Azure skies to many other Azure skies, including the infinite space itself, going to the moon, going to other planets, not only in 14 but also in other games. Especially Star Wars Old Republic. We've got a straight up flagship with like Republic fleet ships and all kinds of stuff, invading planets and exploring them in 14 and exploring them in Star Citizen. So yeah, it's definitely a year of space stuff for us, for sure. So
we might have to change our FC we might have to change our FC. What do you call it? Like motto from free as free as the Azure sky to as free as the Azure galaxy.
No, because I mean space is just like we go past the sky to many skies, and space is technically also like a sky that's infinite, and so is the
so I don't know my astronomy. Well. Okay,
say infinite.
But our slogan does come from the moment that we were founded. When someone shouted "as free as the Azure sky" on a clear blue sky in lavender beds after we left a guild hall from a dying community that we made Azure after that. So, it was kind of a nod to the energy that we all felt together and the promise that the future had, while also being that that as blue as the sky is, as infinite as it looks in its blueness and as large as it is, represents all the possibilities and almost infinite like potential that we share together. So we fly together to across our Azure sky, even in 14 and beyond.
Unless you're
just make it a sub motto then. Just make it a sub motto like strike through. Like and maybe galaxy.
In quotations or in parentheses, add galaxy.
Yeah. Question mark.
So my rule of thumb with that is if it's not broke, you don't fix it, and I think it's perfect. So
yeah.
We actually have a fuller motto, whereas Free as the Sky is the basic motto. It's part of the full motto. The full motto is bathed in ebon and crimson as your children rejoice. We are as free as the Azure sky, infinite, unending, and unsundered. Huzzah! That's the whole entire.
That's a lot.
Huzzah! I love the huzzah.
We don't shout all of that going into battle every time. We just shout as free as the Azure sky. As free as the Azure sky, and you hear like war horns and that, or you see like a giant fleet like come in like out of hyperspace or something. Like, it's pretty cool. I love our community.
If you were to abbreviate it, it would be FFATS. That's funny. I'm sorry.
Wouldn't it be? No, it'd be. Okay. All right, we're moving on.
Whoa.
Huh? Well, what?
Next subject.
What happened?
I didn't understand.
I know what you're saying. Oh my gosh, no. You said, because I said Afataz, but it sounds like a fat ass.
Next subject.
That's
Moving
the
on.
name of episode 32. Fat ass. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so funny. Okay. All right. Moving on. Moving along here. Before we finish off this episode, which has been quite the episode, we've covered a lot of stuff here. A lot of games, a lot of wings, a lot of plans, new events, new content, Cosmic X, and more. We could do a whole podcast on just discussing cosmic exploration, to be honest with you. There's a lot to it. It's actually more simple than I expected, but there's a lot we could talk about with it, and how to maximize that content. But we do have to move towards the end here. But before the end, I just wanted to talk about some games in general that are not related to our wings, and also talk to you guys about what you guys have been playing outside of Azure related games here.
If you want to talk about games outside of Azure related games, the only one I've been touching up on is Dead Island 2. Nothing better than smashing the zombie skulls.
Nice. Okay, yeah, my friend, a good friend of mine that hangs out and plays games in my office, like he started it too recently on Game Pass actually.
Another one that I've been thinking about itching to get back into, as I haven't done it yet, Warframe. I mean, Warframe's always a good game to play, period. It's another looter shooter, and it's fast-paced, really fun.
You played it before?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I beta tested it, actually. Fortunately, I lost that account. Otherwise, I'd still be rocking out Excalibur Prime, which Excalibur Prime was gifted to those that played, I think, during the beta. I had it. I just don't remember if it was like released and then they took it away or whatever. Yeah. There's a lot more to it now. There's a big story there. Honestly, I love the content in Destiny 2. I really do. It can get really dry and really repetitive at times. Whereas Warframe, another looter shooter, I'm not comparing them. It's like apples to oranges, if you ask me, to a certain degree. But Warframe's story supersedes all of Destiny 2. It is well put together.
Praise. Okay. I know there's a lot of people in our community that talk about it and they're passionate about it too. We've even had it requested as a wing before.
See, I would love to see it as a wing, and honestly, I'd be willing to spearhead that. But it's one of those games as well where it's heavily influenced RNG or et cetera, et cetera. There's different things that would drive people away. There's a catch-22 with it. Really, it's a lot of fun. It really is. It can also get very repetitive. Like you have, I think it's like 7 or 8 different mission types, and you see those over and over again. Now you have like world bosses in a sense, in the form of like eidolons and other things in different planetary nodes as well. But you can do those, and you can actually reap rewards from them that are pretty good. Eidolon is probably Eidolons are probably really outdated at this point, if I had to guess. But regardless of the fact, they have giant open world areas that you can go spearfish, explore, gather things, do small little missions out there. There's a lot to do, and my biggest praise to it is the amount of different warframes there are, each specializing in different categories, whether it be stealth, tanking, AoEs, etc., healing even. And down to the cosmetics of them are extremely customizable too, to where you can change the color appearance from anything separately, which is amazing.
So you've been playing it, or you were thinking about getting back into it?
I'm thinking about getting back into it. Like they just did a couple of newer updates. I haven't played it for about maybe close to a year. I would love to get back into it though. It's like one of those games that I love playing.
Okay.
Same thing with Black Desert Online. That's another solid MMO, similar to.
Yeah.
That game was really grindy though. That's what drove me away from it. So, anyways, I digress. Rue, any games from you?
I know Rue's real passionate about Ever Crisis.
Yeah, there was a recap stream like last Tuesday where there's a high school AU event that's still ongoing right now, and it goes until May 28th.
May 28th.
So it's
what kind of event did you say?
Yeah. It's like a high school AU event. So it's like
a high school event.
All of your characters are like in their high school,
Oh wow.
kind of like
Okay.
a
The Final
alternate
Fantasy
universe
VII
thing. So
characters.
Tifa is like a,
Yeah.
they're all wearing uniforms, and Barrett and Glenn are like teachers, or they're like the staff members. So
Oh.
yeah, I've
Okay.
been recording some of the uh, story for that event for like archiving stuff. So
Okay.
and then for August, there's going to be a crossover event with Dragon Quest Act, and they're going to feature a boss named Isaro from DQ4.
Oh yeah, that's a classic one. Yep. I love Dragon Quest.
Yeah, and so that's the boss that we'll be fighting, and then there's going to be an outfit for that for Sephiroth. So he's going to have his like outfit for that, weapon included. And then for July, there's going to be a summer event, and there's 2 outfit banners that will be released for that. And then they're already working as of that recording for the 2nd anniversary content for September. So as of this recording, there might be a story update this month. So either next week or the following week. But I know it's like they already have a calendar like planned out for from May to August. So it's like everything is all packed by July and August. So yeah, just if it's not 14, I'm playing Ever Crisis. So
I've never
the only other game.
I've honestly
It's
never heard of
a
Ever Crisis. I will check it out though. It sounds like a pretty fun game.
Final Fantasy VII app that covers like the story. Like it goes through the story of all the major 7 games and stories. Like you go through Crisis Core, you go through 7, you go through some other stuff. There's an original story that's like a origin of Sephiroth and stuff like that when he's a kid, and it's really interesting. And unfortunately, like it is a bit grindy, but I've enjoyed the time that I've spent with it.
It's very grindy.
I'm just at a point.
It's very grindy. Like
No, go
it's
ahead.
like they have events like one after another, and then it's like just investing like I invest on this game for at least an hour. If you're not like, if you're just doing the dailies, maybe like 15 to like 5 to 10 minutes. But if it's like doing like event, like the event quests, they take maybe like 20 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour if you're gonna go all out on it.
My thing, the only issue is that like I just want to enjoy the story, and while I'm going through the story, keeps stopping me and telling me my power level is like too low, and it's like I don't really know what to do to get it higher.
It's the equipment, and you have your sub equipment, which are your stat sticks.
Okay.
So yeah, and then it does get very, very like difficult. Like,
I might have
as
to
of right now, the highest is
ask what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try to.
Because there's like a lot of stuff going on in there. Like I've added some equipment to it. I've tried to do some materia stuff. Like maybe I'm missing something on it, but it is really cool. Like I've got I forgot what chapter I'm in, but you know I've done a little bit of the first soldier and a little bit of the 7 story on there. I just want to experience it before the inevitable 3rd game comes out, and then things kind of calm down for 7 for a while, and then that game, the app will, not be there forever. So, as Square Enix
honestly, the only title there that honestly, the only title I'm looking forward to in Ever Crisis is Before Crisis, which is like the other mobile game that they never release.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that would be like the true way for Before Crisis to finally have something done for it, But then again, like I said, I hope that they keep that app around for a while after the 3rd game, because Square Enix apps have just been shut down left and right. It's pretty terrible.
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of angry a little bit that whenever they release Rufus and those games, I'm like, it's like before you go out of service. I'm like, why?
Yeah, Yeah, that's your favorite there, Rufus Shinra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my name. That's where my name was based on.
Yeah.
I've never played DQ4, so I don't know much about the character. Sorrow.
Which game?
Uh, Dragon Quest 4. Like, I actually do a bit of research, like what this guy looks like.
Yeah, so overall, I spent a lot of time playing the games that we have our wings in and stuff like that. I've also been checking out some other stuff as well on my own. Got back into Final Fantasy XI not too long ago. Just kind of slowly, a little bit at a time, making my way through that with a pretty nice guide that kind of takes you through the essentials in the early game, just to kind of experience story and things like that. Previously, I played it from like around 2005 to like 2010-ish. But it's been a long time since then, and they nuked a lot of stuff, but it is not a walk in the park by any means. It's still there's still a lot to swallow there, as well as Lord of the Rings Online. I actually got caught up to the level cap not too long ago, and been kind of poking around over a New World, BDO, as well as believe it or not, Star Trek Online, which actually it's still a pretty big MMO with quite a bit of people playing it. I have yet to delve into Path of Exile, and Diablo 4 has also kind of been calling me. The new season just started, and there's a lot of cool stuff, including a Berserk crossover, which is really hard to resist. So those are just a few other things. And then, of course, outside of all the MMOs and all that fun, I've just kind of been exploring a number of VR games for the PSVR 2. And a few things here and there. There's a really cool Star Wars Galaxy Edge game on VR that I've enjoyed, and I think that's about it. Yeah, off and on, I check into some other games on my Switch and some things like that. I also started Disco Elysium the other day, which is a really weird and cool detective RPG. That's kind of cool. So that's been a lot of fun too. It's good. It's really good. I was shocked how good it is with how, it seemed like a really simple game, but it's actually really good. So, but I've been playing tons of games. I'm like, some of them I'm like nowhere in, and others I'm a lot farther. There's stuff in our wing games that, like a lot of the ones we talked about here today that I've been really busy in. And, some people know that I keep a number of games going at the same time. Given that I run about 10 monitors, 5 computers, and consoles as well. I've usually got progress in different games going, and kind of just sleep and get back up and keep going. So whether it's moderating, admitting and running Azure, or playing games, I'm usually always doing something, as well as making content for our community as well. Other notes real quick before we finish up. I just had a couple more notes about game industry stuff that's good to know for this last week. The Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer looks beautiful. I'm a GTA fan. I don't play it like a ton, nor have I really gotten into GTA Online. I kind of like the old school games a bit more. But 6 looks, oh my gosh, 6 looks really good, especially in the new trailer. So I'm excited for that when that comes out. It's they updated Rockstar saying that they have delayed it to May 26th, 2026. So one more year to wait on that one. But the trailer they released shows a couple protagonists, which is Jason and Lucia, in a fictional state of Leonida, which kind of builds the hype despite the postponed launch. And I think Vice City is also a part of it too, which looks cool. So that was a huge announcement the other day. Yeah.
Thing with that trailer, straight up, if you pay attention to how beautifully it is all animated, the biggest thing there is, I don't know if it's the same trailer or not, the opening scene is somebody walking out of a convenience store with a 6-pack of beer. If you pay attention to the bottle, like go to the bottles in the 6-pack, no, the fluid inside the bottles are moving around,
condensation and fluids.
It's almost, I swear you could almost mistake that for being extremely real.
Yeah, it's like photorealistic. Yeah,
it's insane. I can't wait.
It's really, really cool looking. Yeah, and besides
I have to take a look at that later.
Oh yeah, you should check it out, Rue. The trailer, it's trailer number 2 that came out. It just looks really good. It, like, overall, like the first one that came out, I was kind of like, yeah, that's kind of what we expect, and Like there was some shenanigans in the first one that was interesting, but like now they're actually showing like protagonists, and there's a guy and a girl that are the main characters, and it definitely definitely looks really cool. Just a visual feast for the eyes. Just haven't seen graphics and movement like that. That's really, really, really high quality. And speaking of which, it's been like 12 years since 5 actually came out, and they've been doing online stuff and Red Dead 2 this whole time. So is it going to be like 15 years till we see GTA 7? like are they going to have to keep reinventing the wheel every time, or is there a point where maybe things are going to even out?
I would dare to say it'd be longer than 15 years. I mean, so we're reaching a point in video games and how well animated they are, that I don't think you can push past a certain point to where they're already at, so if they want to milk it, they could definitely milk it for, I'd say, 20 years, if not longer.
For GTA 7, wow.
Yeah, and then from there, they can honestly just release one solid GTA online game. Same thing with any big publisher. They can create one solid online game and just never release anything else, and just constantly add updates to that one game. And then it would be fluid. Like the updates they could do would be introducing new things, making it seem like it's a whole new game. And I think that's the direction that the gaming industry is going to be going in, I'd say, in the next 30 years.
Wow.
Because
okay.
Once you reach peak, you cannot go any higher, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's a point where they might realize that, like, well, crap, like if we have to completely outdo every single one, then it's just better to probably just keep releasing them even at the same quality or slightly better quality, not like such a huge leap each time, because then it's just going to be forever until we get something new, and not everybody wants to play GTA Online. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I think breaking the mold with like a different kind of GTA would be cool. We've seen that in between numbers before, in between the main releases. We've seen like, Chinatown Wars and, the expansions for GTA 4 were also standalone as well, and those were kind of fun. As well as, what was that other one that was really big? Liberty City Stories. That was another thing that happened in between. So maybe some stuff like that at least. But also,
I'm extremely hopeful for the content that's going to be fed into GTA 6. They're still feeding content in GTA 5. And like you said, that game is, pushing 12, 13 years old?
Yeah.
I mean, it's phenomenal. Like, they're still doing that. Some of the stuff is kind of like boring, dry, whatever it be it, but the majority of it is just amazing. So I'm excited for what's to come.
Well, another thing I'm excited for is the next Battlefield. As a Battlefield fan and player for a long time, I got on back in Battlefield 3 when it came out. I did play 2, but 3 was what I really fell in love with. We even had a clan for it back in the day. From 2011 to 2014, we had a pretty intense BF clan, and then we even went into 4, because 4 was very similar to 3. Played the living crap out of it and really loved it. It's not really been the same since 4. It's gone through multiple different eras, different playstyles and stuff like that. But the latest attempt at release, or making a new return to form, I should say, has been using Battlefield 3 and 4 as the ideal inspiration for what's probably going to be called BF6. Battlefield Labs is what they've come up with so far, which is kind of like a way for players to test play stuff early from the new one. It is a community-driven project for the next game that's set to launch in March of 2026. So not only we're going to have GTA 6, we're probably going to have Battlefield 6 as well in the same year, within a couple weeks of each other, or maybe months. Recent playtests has involved thousands of hours of gameplay, focusing on destruction and tactical mechanics. Players from Europe, North America, and Asia are invited to test it in May. If you've seen any of the footage so far, they're going back to modern times, and it looks really, really like a successor to 3 and 4, which are my favorite.
The best one, and I will fight anyone for, was back to 2.
Oh, Bad Company 2, but we'll see 3 built off of Bad Company 2 a bit. And then
3 was amazing too.
And Bad Company 2 was like the one of the top ones. Like if there's a top 3, I would say it would be Bad Company 2 and 3 and 4. You know, and if it's in whatever order, it could be in that order or it could be in any other order, but those 3 were like the best. And they're usually, it's a pretty unanimous among the community that Battlefield, 3, 4, and Bad Company 2 were like the best. And but I've just been wanting to see them return to form because it's just not felt the same. And people didn't really like the specialist thing that they tried with the recent one. That one also had a really bad launch, and by the time it actually got fun, and me and a few people in the community were playing it, like they announced no more support for it. So we were just like, It was cool that they added all eras and stuff like that, and it kind of started to feel like a successor to 3 and 4, but I think the next one's going to be really good. So there was a big update on that the other day, so that's the excitement for what might be Battlefield 6 is building. Also, real quick here, we had, let's see, Epic Game Store free games this week. Free games. Touch Type Tale is a strategy typing game, and Dead Time Defenders, an early access looter shooter. Next week, there's going to be 2 mystery games available for free as well. If you download the Epic browser, you get free games throughout the month. Xbox Game Pass has added a number of amazing titles recently, and also we could have probably done a whole podcast on Expedition 33, which is a phenomenal, unexpected, nuclearly popular, if that's even a word, game that came out of nowhere, from a writer that they found, I think, on like Reddit, and a sound designer from SoundCloud got together with a team of like 30 people and made a game that is giving AAA games a run for their money. It sold 2 million in like a couple weeks or something like that. It's crazy how huge that game has been. And it's a turn-based RPG inspired partly by Lost Odyssey, a Hironobu Sakaguchi, creator of Final Fantasy game from the 360 era, that has not had any sort of port or reboot or anything. And it was inspired by that amazing game. It's a more mature JRPG. It doesn't really have like a bunch of teenage characters trying to defy fate to save the world. This is like something that's very French. It's got beautiful soundtrack. It's kind of like the aesthetic kind of feels like Dark Souls and Elden Ring, but a turn-based RPG inspired by Final Fantasy games. Really cool. Really, really cool. Game Pass added that, as well as the Oblivion remaster, which is another huge topic that we don't have enough time to talk about here today. But even though those 2 are the obvious 2 stars of probably the whole month when it comes to Game Pass, we did also see Dredge get added, which is it's rising in popularity. It's a horror fishing game. Which was also recently included in a Humble Bundle. So I've got it on my Steam Deck, and I've been meaning to play it, but that's also building in popularity. Warhammer Vermintide 2 also added, as well as Revenge of the Savage Planet, sci-fi shooter couch co-op. Doom Dark Ages is also on the horizon. Very, very soon that's coming out. And Game Pass is really popping right now. On the opposite end, with PlayStation Store and PS Plus, Gears of War has been announced for PlayStation, coming up in the near future, but the store itself has been updated with content as of May 6th, a couple days ago from the time of this recording, including that Reaper Operation game, which is like blowing up on Steam. PS Plus free games that just popped up here. Those are also pretty good this month, I have to say. They're giving us quite a good we're eating good as PlayStation fans, and even those that have Xbox Game Pass. And Forza Horizon 5, Minecraft, and Oblivion remaster, man, for PS Plus. And if you've got PS Plus Premium, it's basically PlayStation's Game Pass, but they also throw in streaming service discounts and all kinds of crazy stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on between those stores. And last but not least, I wanted to mention that what was it here? I had a little note somewhere. Here it is. So Sonic Rumble and Anoxia Station. Those are new PC releases. The latter one is actually a horror strategy game that's inspired by Frostpunk. It's also been blowing up lately. And PAX East 2025, I believe, is underway. So there's just tons of stuff in the industry just coming out. And, it's kind of interesting because all this good stuff, and then we've got Switch 2 on the horizon, which is a whole nother subject. So we had way too many things to talk about in this episode, but we covered a ton. And this is a little bit more of a longer episode than what we usually have. But I do want to thank those here with me, Cynic and Rufus. Thank you guys for being here on this episode and talking about everything today. And those who are listening as well online, thank you guys for listening to our podcast.
I mean, nothing more than usual. If anyone that's listening in ever needs anything, feel free to holler at myself, Cynic, or which that is me. I was just, or anyone else that's in the scout ranks or higher. We are always down to help you, no matter what it is.
Yeah, I'm with Cynic on this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I'm not always
bad.
online. I'm not always online, but I'll do what I can. But I'm just quiet, so if I'm there, I'm there. That's my thing when I'm around.
We love having you, Rue. And Cynic, thank you as well for coming today, and it's been great chatting. We've got a wonderful team in Assist and a nice number of scout captains, scout sergeants, and scouts in Azure Infinitum that represent what we sometimes call the 24/7 support team, or ASSIST, Assist, Azure Scout Squad Initiative and Support Team. These guys really go out of their way to help our community have sort of a backbone of support. So members across our wings can reach out to them when they see their names on the right side of Discord, or the names you see on the different rosters that are listed as different scout ranks. They're there to help and assist, as Cynic said earlier as well, and as Rufus also mentioned. And we really appreciate our scouts, especially first step up from member. For those listening, if you're in our community and you're interested in taking the step up in rank, scout is that first step. It's a very flexible rank that allows you to make use of whatever time that you have available for helping others, getting involved in event hosting, and just kind of being connected to the backside of Azure's support channels. Recruitment is never necessary, but those permissions are also added for our scouts. And all you got to do is hit up a council member or I, and we'll have the talk. There's also a what is Assist, or how to join Assist on the website. There's a big button on the front page as well as on the nav bar. And those interested in joining our community or following us online, don't forget you can visit azureinfinitum.com, which is our community website. If you join, you can register with Guild Tag, where we host at, as well as join the site. Make sure you click the Join Site button after registering with Guild Tag. It'll open you up to a number of features, as well as a profile that you can make, add your Twitch stream to the front of our website, as well as even gain Azure achievements over time. As well, we also have azurenet.com, where content is posted throughout the week for most of our games that we support for Azure Wings, including a number of other topics in pop culture, Japanese culture, and gaming culture, and more. You can find us on most major social media websites, including Facebook, X, Instagram, and more. We also recently opened a few new ones. The whole entire list is actually on the registry page on our directory, the directory that you can find in Discord and our website. It's also pinned on our X page and other places too. Actually, it's quite easy to find. So we have a number of those. So if you're on those websites and you want to get Azure news throughout the week, you can follow us on any of those. And that is all that we have today for Azure Infinitum Podcast, episode 32. Thank you guys so much for joining us and listening to us all the way to the end here. And thanks again to those joining us here live, Cynic and Rue. Thank you, and see you on the next episode.